Looks like the Dallas Cowboys is making a little splash in the free agency. It just started and we all in the talks. Let's talk about it. Welcome in, everyone. If you don't know me, I go by the name of Smack Talk, and there's two things that you must do. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. So the Dallas Cowboys, they said, yesterday was the day that we decide to go ahead and make a splash. And when I say make a splash, I mean a small, little bitty, itsy bitsy splash. They didn't go after the big names. The big names are gone. They ain't go after the big names, and I'm totally okay with that. So we signed Rashawn Gary from the Green Bay Packers. We traded for him for a 2027 fourth-round pick. And now, Rashawn Gary reunites with Kenny Clark. And I am loving this addition to the Dallas Cowboys defensive line because we needed pressure. Now, don't get me wrong. Every Green Bay Packer fan may tell you, like, hey, that dude declined tremendously. We got Michael Parsons, and we thought he was going to be freed up, or vice versa, whatever the case may be. But in my opinion, this is a step forward for the Dallas Cowboys, not a step backwards, not a miniature step. It's a step forward for this new defensive coordinator and team because it's a whole new team in there, and they letting them cook. I can kind of tell they letting these young guys cook and get the necessary weapons and tools and pieces that they need to go and be a great defense. Now, they also signed Jalen Thompson from the Arizona Cardinals to a 3-year, $33 million guaranteed deal with $3 million in incentives and bonuses, or whatever the case may be. Now, I'm not opposed to safety Jalen Thompson either. We needed safety help with Malik Hooker having some multiple injuries on multiple occasions. We needed somebody back there to help solidify that back end of that secondary because last year we had trouble. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of that may be of Matt Eberflus, and he's gone now, but I'm going to tell you now, with these two signings, Jalen Thompson, oh my goodness, and Rashawn Gary, guys, this is going to take the defense to the next level that it needs to be taken. Now, I'm not saying that this is, we unstoppable. We're going to win a Super. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's taking the next step, and I'm like, wait a minute. These are the guys that we chose to get, and I'm glad that we addressed the pass rusher situation in the free agency. And then we address the back end of the defense and the safety help with the safety. And I'm not opposed to that. Both of these guys are great at what they do. Now, Jalen Thompson has, over the past, how many ever seasons he's been in the league, he's averaged over 100 tackles a season. Now, a safety averaging 100 tackles a season is absurd amount. Like, you're way in the back, and you're getting up far enough to solidify a tackle, or if a guy gets past the front seven, whatever the case may be, you're solidifying that tackle. And that's something that the Dallas Cowboys have failed to do for a very long time. And now that they solidify that with Jalen Thompson, I'm not opposed to this, man. Like, I can't be opposed of it. No, it's not a big name. No, it's not someone that's going to make a splash and just be like, whoa, like, we know his talent. But this guy is an extra guy that's a veteran mentality that kind of knows what he's doing, and he has some help in the locker room. I mean, and not necessarily help, but coaching help, because I believe he's acquainted with one of the coaches in the defensive side of the room. So, I mean, if that goes to show you, this should start gelling. This should start gelling. You got Rashawn Gary alongside of Kenny Clark. They were once teammates, and then you got Jalen Thompson and one of the defensive coordinator position coaches have some type of, chemistry. And I really feel like that moving this way is not only going to help the Dallas Cowboys, but it's going to make them better, because we all seen how that offense soared last season. And that was with a horrible defense. Remind you, that was with a horrible defense. Just adding these two guys, in my opinion, makes you a better football team. Now, I'm not saying it makes you contenders without me seeing how this works and how this gels together, but it gives me an option to say, hey, wait a minute. Jerry Jones is kind of letting these young guys cook. They like, you know what? Jerry's like, you know what? Go get the necessary tools and pieces that you need to make this a good defense because we failed at it. And I know that's the mentality because it's obvious. We make 2 moves on one day. Now, don't get me wrong. We're not out of the picture, but hey, this may be it. Who knows? And if it is it, I'm okay with that because we addressed the back end of our defense and we addressed the front end of our defense. Now we address in the draft and whatever else the case may be in the middle. So as far as the LBs, because we need LBs. We need LBs. We need it badly. So I definitely think these trades, this signing of Jalen Thompson and then this trade for Rashawn Gary was a great trade for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to rate the Rashawn Gary A because we addressed the necessary needs that we needed like immediately. Like we got someone in there that, don't get me wrong, he don't have a crazy resume. He doesn't. But it's a guy that's going to be able to get to the ball carrier. And that's proven to get to the ball carrier. Not a guy that we just kind of putting out there and getting a whim on and hopefully he can get there. No, this is solidifying that this guy on the edge is going to be able to cause havoc and create some type of pressure to get that quarterback to throw that ball out a little bit earlier. So I definitely think the Rashawn Gary trade was a great trade. Now the Jalen Thompson trade, I'm going to get at a B+, maybe a C, because for the simple fact of, now this guy is a veteran guy and he knows what he's doing. He has great skill set of being out like high IQ, safety, knowing where the play is going and et cetera. But I definitely think the Dallas Cowboys could have done a little bit better here. Now, this is the position that needed a splash. This position in the LB position is that needed a splash. Yeah, we could have got Trey Hendrickson, and I don't know if he's even still on the table, but I heard that he's getting a little too expensive, and I'm going to tell you this. These 2 signings, don't you take this and you run with it, say we going to win a Super Bowl, because that's not what I'm saying. You take this and you run with this and you like, hey, wait a minute, Jerry's letting a new whole defensive coaching staff get the pieces to their puzzle in the free agency. We haven't addressed the offense, and I'm loving that. They're not thinking about the offense, and I'm glad of that. They're solely towards beefing up this defense, finding the right players for this new first-year defensive coordinator, Christian Parker. So we have to sit back and think about like this. Hey, these ain't no splash, big names, but they made a little splash because they name in this. But these players, these 2, only time will tell. And I'm hoping they fit in perfectly with Christian Parker and what he's trying to do, because if they do, we already a better team than we was last season. Just by adding these 2 players. Just by adding these 2 players, we are a better team than we was last year. I'm not saying we going to win 12 games. No, I'm just saying we're a better team as of now. So let me know down in the comments of what do we think of this trade and what do we think of this signing. So we got Rashawn Gary on the 2027 4th-round pick. And then we got Jalen Thompson for a 3-year, $36 million deal. $33 million of it is guaranteed. $3 million of it is incentives and bonuses. So let me know down in the comments. Meet me down there because I definitely think Jerry's trying to cook. I mean, I don't know what else we want from him. We asking him to, hey, now it's this linebacker position. Let's address it. So with that being said, guys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe button. And until next time.